Hi there, Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you are here. Or if you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Glad you have found us. This channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake, Utah area. If this is of interest to you, then consider subscribing down below so you don't miss a thing. So today we are going to be focusing on a little city called Alpine, Utah, which is about 30 minutes south of Salt Lake City. And I'm going to be sharing a map with you today. I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of different things. This city, a lot of times, has been called the hidden gem of Utah, one of many Utah's hidden gems. But because of where it's situated, because of all the different things around it, it is a very desirable place for a lot of people that are actually relocating or making a move here to Utah. People are zoning in on this Alpine area, and a lot of times they actually call it the Alpine Highland area because the two cities are so close together. They're very interchangeable. A lot of the sports and activities and things that the kids do are, Alpine and Highlands. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to share my screen today, and I'm going to be walking you through on a map of some of the different things that you can expect to see in Alpine area, what it's close to, what it's not, kind of some of the pros and cons of living in the Alpine area as well. So all right, so here's the Google map. Now I want to give you just a reference point of where Salt Lake City is. So you can see right up here, this is Salt Lake City, right here at the top. You can see right there, this is within Salt Lake City. This is downtown, the downtown area, and really pretty picture of that. But today we're not going to focus on Salt Lake, but I did want to show you where Alpine, Utah is in relation to where Salt Lake City is. So you can tell Salt Lake City is up here up north, and we're going to go south, and then we're going to drop down past Draper. So I'm going to kind of zoom in on here, but so you've got, when you go past Salt Lake, you're going to come through Mill Creek, you're going to go past Holiday, you're going to go past Murray, Midvale, through Sandy and South Jordan. You'll come right through Draper. And then once you hit Lehi, okay, right down here is Lehi, Utah. This is actually the area of the Silicon Slopes is what they call it. You are going to head east. And east is where you are going to find Alpine. So let's go ahead. We're going to zoom in here in Alpine. So Alpine, what can you expect? What is there to do in Alpine? What is it close to? Again, I'm going to kind of zoom in on here. But so Alpine, Utah, it's about 10,000 residents. You can expect to see, there are a handful of parks. Main Street right here, if you can see this, we'll zoom in on that a little bit farther. Main Street is actually very, very small. You can see it's right here. You've got a couple law offices. You've got a couple chiropractors. You've got a small gym. You've got an elementary school. Actually, it's a kindergarten, preschool, actually. Preschool through 9th grade. It's called Mountainville Academy, right downtown on Main Street. And then around this Main Street area, you've got several parks like Burgess Park. Over to the west of Main Street, you've got Creekside Park, which is right here. I'll show you what Creekside Park looks like. Here's a picture of that if you can see. They've got a really cool splash pad at Creekside. I know one of the first times that we visited Alpine, we were like, oh man, they've got splash pads and there's actually water running through them. Again, this is Creekside. You can see there's different parks that are located here. This is the same park that has a splash pad. A lot of people bring their kites out. They have picnics here. There's a volleyball net. You can see this is in the winter time. They snow plow a lot of it. There's a track that goes all the way around Creekside Park too. Extremely family friendly. You've got families that come out, like I said, with picnic or volleyball, and all the fun things. They also do have some different celebrations that they do. They do an Easter egg hunt there every year. So there's just a lot of different activities that are held at the parks. So that's Creekside Park. Let me go ahead. I'm going to zoom in here on Burgess Park, give you a little bit of an idea of what Burgess looks like. Now, the neat thing about Creekside as opposed to Burgess, or Burgess as opposed to Creekside, is Burgess has pickleball courts, and there's several pickleball courts here that people play on. They also have tennis courts and basketball courts. These are the houses that are surrounding it. Kind of gives you an idea. There's a large baseball field on during the weekdays and weekends on baseball season time. You will see all sorts of people and kids out there. This is a little stream, a river that runs right next to Burgess Park. There's a bridge that goes over it. Again, family friendly. They've got volleyball courts too as well. So that kind of gives you an idea of two of the main parks right in the Alpine area. You, like I said, Creekside, and then you've got Burgess over here. And then if you go just a little bit north up here, this is Lambert Park. Now, Lambert Park is known for its biking, and a lot of mountain bikers go up there. They have signs here that say, do not use this, don't use this when it is muddy, because it really takes a toll on the trails and everything. Looks like there aren't too many other pictures here for that one. But so that kind of gives you an idea, but people will come out in the fall time and the springtime and take pictures. You can go walking and hiking around there. There's also a nice little pavilion here at that Lambert Park. So to give you a little bit of an idea there, this is called Lambert Park. This is the trailhead. So there's a couple of different parks and areas that go along with that. Kind of gives you an idea of what that looks like going up there. We'll give you a little 360 of the view. This, just by looking at this photo here, most likely this is going to be, summertime. But when you're up at the top in Lambert Park, you've got panoramic views. You can see Utah Lake from up in Lambert Park. You've got panoramic views of the mountains from there as well. So a very fun place to hike around, bring the family. A good time is had by all for that. So next thing we're going to take a look at is up here, and it doesn't look like they have it marked, but let me zoom in a little bit more. Near Lambert Park, there are a couple of areas that have some fantastic hikes, and it's up here just a little bit. This is the Lambert Pavilion that I was talking about. And then let's see, yes, here it is. This is the Dry Creek. It's called the Dry Creek North Mountain Trail. Beautiful hiking up here as well. In the winter time, you have to definitely put on your snowshoes if you're planning on hiking here in the winter time. But this is basically what it looks like during the spring and then even into summer. But they've got all these trails that just go up. I've got some friends that have horses and donkeys, and they will actually, and mules mules too. And they'll take their mules up, they'll take their horses up and go for some incredible, just rides up there and explore everything. The water after the winter season, usually if we're not in a drought, usually there's a lot of water running through the rivers here. There's a beautiful waterfall that comes down at the top. I've been there in the fall and also in the summertime. In the fall, you just have all the foliage, looks incredibly beautiful. So this kind of gives you an idea of a few things in terms of like parks and views that I really like. So like I said, this one here, this is the Dry Creek North Mountain Trail. So again, you've got views of all of the city and the surrounding areas down below. This gives you another idea of that. And then here's a fall picture that, again, you've got that waterfall going through, and they call this one is the, what is this one? This one is called, there's the Three Falls hike, and this is the Three Falls hike. So, or actually this one is the, it'll come to me in a minute. Oh, that's what it's called. It's called the Horsetail Falls. There's another great hike that is in Alpine as well, and it's called Three Falls. This one is called Horsetail Falls, but again, this one is gorgeous all year long. If you are hiking in the winter time, though it can be icy and you'll need to bring some snowshoes or have the shoes that have the grip on the bottom. So those are some fun things to do right there, you know, immediately right in the Alpine area. Those are a lot of people's go-to areas that they go and hike. Now, I had just mentioned the Three Falls. So you can see right over here, this is the Deer Creek area that has the Horsetail Falls hike. Over to the west of it, you can see up here, it says Three Falls. Now, this area has years and years ago, this was kind of an area that nobody really even touched, and it was like hardly anybody ever lived there. Well, now this is a very, very exclusive area, this Three Falls, and large luxury homes have gone in over here. And again, fabulous views, but that's what that one looks like. And this one's called the Schoolhouse Springs Trailhead. And this is really close to Three Falls as well. You can see, you know, you can see it's got great views of all of that. We've taken our kids hiking up here. We've, you know, we have a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and our twins are 6, and they were able to do this no problem. There's some paved trails to, you know, to start with, just a little bit, the parking lot's paved, and then it quickly goes into dirt trails. But again, beautiful in the springtime. You've got all the gorgeous flowers, same with the summer, and kind of gives you an idea of what that looks like there. So we're going to move down just a little bit. We briefly talked about the parks. We talked about some of the trails. Now I'm going to show you something that's not actually in Alpine, but it's right outside of Alpine. Now, one of the things to keep in mind with Alpine, Utah is in this area here, there are not grocery stores in Alpine. It is a small town, and the biggest grocery store is it's a gas station, and a lot of the kids go to the gas station to grab a, you know, candy or a Slurpee or something like that. But if you're looking for the grocery stores, there are plenty close by, but not right there. So let me show you where, and I know some people before had said, I've had families that are moving here from out of state, and they're like, I'm really interested in Alpine, but like, what are the amenities like? What is the shopping? Again, you're not going to find shopping in Alpine, but you will find it in Highland. You will find it in Cedar Hills, Lehigh, American Fork, and all of these are relatively close. All right, so let's take a look. I wanted to show you here kind of just the area of Alpine, and you can see where, you know, where the main area is here. Again, you can see the different parks. And then we're talking a little bit about shopping. Where is shopping? Where is, you know, if I want to go to the grocery store, where can I go? What are my options? So like I mentioned, there's no shopping grocery stores in Alpine, but right down the road, and you can go right down Main Street here, right where this Mont Blanc Dentistry is, right next to it, right across the way here, you are going to have on the corner, you're going to have a CVS. In this little area over here, there's Myers Meats, which is kind of like a Whole Foods or a Harmon's, or you know, different kind of fine foods there. There's also right next to Myers, this is what Myers looks like, but right next to Myers, you're also going to have a Macy's grocery store. So this is, you know, a lot of like fresh produce, fresh meats. They have a lot of baked goods and artisan type things there as well. So that kind of gives you an idea of what Myers looks like. And then right next to Myers, you're going to have a Macy's grocery store. And if you're coming from out of state, Macy's is, oh, and this is actually, it has switched hands, but it's kind of like a Safeway or a Vons or one of those kind of grocery stores there. So you're going to have one that's a little bit more fine dining. You're going to have one that's, you know, just kind of your regular sort of grocery store. And then here we also have just over here, let's see where we're at. Let me zoom out a tad bit. Okay, there we are. So you've got Myers, Macy's, and then right off here, you are going to have the Walmart Supercenter. And this Walmart is actually a very, very nice Walmart. In the front, it's got cobblestone tiles. It is very clean from my experience going there, you know, big selection of different things, but, and they really do have a lot of produce in, you know, in the store and in the area there. So for some people who want more of a one-stop shop, Walmart could be your answer there. They've got a Dollar Tree, they've got some hair salons over here. So that's that. Another thing I wanted to mention when we are over here, there are actually 3 golf courses. So if you are into golf, listen up. Golf is big here. You've got first one here. This is Alpine Country Club. And we've got a few friends that are members of Alpine Country Club. I've heard nothing but great things about this club. It is a members only. So if you're looking for a membership type of opportunity, you can reach out to them. But Alpine Country Club is definitely an option. Then you've got Fox Hollow, and Fox Hollow Golf Club. This one is open to the public. They've got a driving range. They offer some, you know, junior programs as well. They also host different events if you are interested in something like that. So lots of different options with that. And then moving right on over to the Cedar Hills Golf Club, or the golf club. These 3 golf courses, these are all within 5 minutes of each other. So from this to this, actually, you know what? You could probably get here in like 3 minutes, and there is not a lot of traffic. So these are extremely close. And Alpine to Cedar Hills is close, except for you do have to go Alpine, or Cedar Hills is more up on a hill. So that one you got to climb a little bit. You've got fabulous views though. I'll show you what this one looks like, Cedar Hills Golf Club. This one, again, you're more up on a hill, you're more sloped, so you're going to have these just great views. You're nestled right against the east bench here. And this is also an open to the public, but a beautiful course that is extremely close to American Fork Canyon as well. So that is also a really good option if you are interested in golf. One of my kids' favorite places to go when we're in this area is called Manila Creek. And this is in Pleasant Grove. So you'll notice here, you've got Alpine, you've got Highland, you've got Cedar Hills, and you've got this area right here is Pleasant Grove. And right over here, this is American Fork. So these 5, 6 cities are all within, you know, Alpine to Highland, 5 minutes. Highland to American Fork, depending on where you are, 2-3 minutes. American Fork to Pleasant Grove, 4 or 5 minutes. Like all of this is extremely close. So there's a lot of different things around here. But I wanted to show you the Manila Creek area and the Manila Creek Pond. Many years, they actually stock this with they stock it with fish. And you'll see families out here, they'll bring their kayaks, they'll bring their canoes, they'll bring their stand-up paddle boards, and it's a small little pond. And this one here, it's small, but they've got a nice little beachy area that the kids can play. You can bring a picnic out, and then there's a walking trail all around the outside of it too. And you've got it's a beautiful neighborhood that's right over here, so it's close to the neighborhood. A lot of times you'll see people out here fishing. The ducks, don't be surprised if you see ducks. And then you definitely will see a lot of kids, a lot of families. They will bring their picnics. They will be, you know, they'll set up shop and they'll be there for many, many hours during the summertime. So that is a super fun, easy place. If you are an Alpine, you're thinking, gosh, I want something to do today, and it's a, beautiful day out, Manila Creek Pond is a great place to check out. Also, something else I wanted to show you, activities, things to do. This is, these are all, in my mind, pros of living in the Alpine area, is you've got all of these things at your fingertips. They're all so close. Another one, this is right here, and it looks a little bit farther away, but it's really not. So you've got Alpine here, and if you go east, you've got several incredible things up here. This is called American Fork Canyon, and show you here, American Fork Canyon. It's just beautiful canyon. You've got a stream and river running down the side. The trees, fall, winter, spring, you name it. It's it's gorgeous. I've taken my parents here many times. Our families come here many times. It's not uncommon. This is called Tibble Fork Reservoir, and you will drive up. It's about a 15-minute drive from the entrance of American Fork Canyon to Tibble Fork. Maybe it's not even 15 minutes. It's not that long, but same thing. People will set up a picnic here. They'll bring their pets. There's some great hiking. And then even back to this in the winter time, Tibble Fork, we've brought our kids, and a lot of times the reservoir, it ices over, it freezes over. So people will bring their sleds, they'll bring all sorts of fun little toys, and it's a great sledding hill that people will go on. And the little beachy area is all snowy, so people will start at the top and work their way down. But again, a really fun area to be in there. And let's see if we can show you some fall foliage there in the canyon, which is really pretty. Here's in the winter time, and they've actually, with American Fork Canyon too, it connects, it goes all the way over to the other side of the Wasatch back, and it'll actually drop you off in Midway area, the Midway Heber area. So that is an awesome option. And so with American Fork Canyon, you've also got, this is called Timpanogos Cave, and it's actually a national monument. And these caves are incredible. It is a hike to get up there. I just had a family of mine that moved here from out of state, and they have a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And they were like, oh, we heard these caves are awesome. I think we're gonna just, take the family on a little hike. And they did not realize that it was, I don't want to say treacherous, but there's quite an incline to get up to it. And you definitely want to have your walking shoes on, and certainly doable for, different ages, but just be prepared. But the Timpanogos Caves are incredible. So just keeping that in mind. And then also right next to that, you've got the Canyon Nature Trail. So all throughout American Fork Canyon, there are trails everywhere. There are trails all over American Fork Canyon, and the river's running through it. There's just beautiful, beautiful things to see. Some of them are paved trails, some of them are not, but you can see from right here in the beginning, it goes all the way up. We've explored, all sorts of, different trails this way. Like I said, Tibble Fork is up here. I've actually run a couple of half marathons that start right here. What they will do is you will start down here at American Fork Junior High. And American Fork Junior High is, or the high school. So sometimes they'll start at the high school or the junior high, and they will bus you. You'll hop on a bus here, and then they'll bus you all the way up through the canyon. And then once you get to the canyon, they drop you off right here at Tibble Fork. And I showed you pictures of this too, but there's eating areas, there's all of that here. And they, they set it up, and then you actually run all the way down through the canyon, and it's just fabulous. It's really so fun. But you can keep going on this, and all throughout here there's different hikes, there's different things. And then, like I said, you can see right here on the back side there are roads that they're putting in now too that will dump you right off in Midway. So you can get all the way from Highland and going through American Fork Canyon, and you can get to Midway. And once you're in Midway, you can see up here, this is Park City, lots of different ski resorts that are right up here. And then same thing on the other side, Brighton, Solitude, Alta, these are all ski resorts that are right on the backside really of Alpine, Utah. So really where Alpine is situated, it is in a really great area. So really where Alpine is situated, location-wise, it is really incredible. And there are so many things at your fingertips right here, just within this area. Now let's quickly talk about transportation. Transportation, if you are looking for the, Salt Lakes International Airport, let me show you where that is right up here. So here you've got Alpine. You're going to hop right on the 15 freeway. Okay. You're back in Salt Lake here, and you're really just going to shoot right up the 15, and then you're going to cut over, and the international airport is right here. So with the international airport, depending on where you are in Alpine, it might take you 30-35 minutes, depending on where you are at there. But if you're into travel, and this is, a great airport that allows you to go in all different areas. The one thing I do have to say about this airport is they remodeled it, which is awesome. But because of the renovation and because they did so much remodeling, I know when my mom first flew in, and there's certain terminals and certain parts to the airport. And I believe it's Terminal 2, if your flight gets into Terminal 2, you have to walk and it's funny because the first time my mom flew in, she lives in Northern California, and when she came to visit us, when she flew in, she called and she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm here." But by the time she actually got to the gate, it was a good 20-minute walk. So you'll hear locals talk about like, "Oh, the airport's terrible now. Like, I don't like using the airport because that walk is so long." But just allow for more time for that, and just know that it might take you, or if your flight is leaving from Terminal 2, just keep that in mind, that you're going to want to allow for extra time, because not only do you need to get through security, but then onto the terminal. And yes, they do have, some areas where you can get through a little bit faster, but overall allow time. But it is, from my experience, it's a good airport, but kind of gives you an idea of where that is in relationship to Alpine, Utah. And last but not least, something else I wanted to touch on with Alpine is if you are interested in different universities, you've got so many different universities right at your fingertips here. And so you've got University of Utah, which is right downtown here. So downtown Salt Lake, 30 minutes away from Alpine. They've got a fantastic sports programs, fantastic medical. They've got, all sorts of great programs there. And then just southeast is Provo, in Provo, Utah, you've got Brigham Young University. And Brigham Young this is actually something you should know if you are thinking about moving or relocating to Utah, is that the University of Utah and BYU, they have a rivalry. It is real. The football teams and, all the football programs, it is a real rivalry, and it's something to be, to definitely be aware of. But Brigham Young's got, a beautiful university. They've got incredible academics and sports programs as well. And then, so you've got, like I said, University of Utah is going to be just north of Alpine. You've got Brigham Young that is just south of Alpine. And then let's see right here, you've got, let's see. So you've got Brigham Young over here, and then you've got Utah Valley University, which used to be a two-year college, but now it is a four-year college. And we know so many people that have chosen to go there that either live here or from out of state are coming. They've got a Division I sports program as well. So you've got all of these universities that are very close to Alpine, Utah, and all three of them have Division I programs. So if you're looking for sports in that, BYU, they call it UVU, and then the University of Utah, and then if you go way north, you're going to end up hitting, let's see if we can find it. And we know a lot of people that go up here for school too. Another great, again, there's other great universities all through here too. But if you go up to Logan, Utah, and that should be, where is Logan? Logan is up here somewhere. Where are you, Logan? Logan, Utah. You will end up at Utah State, and Utah State is another great university as well. So let's see if I can find it. Looks like we're getting close to Idaho there, and it is not in Idaho. It is definitely in, oh, there it is, Logan. Okay, so you can see Logan right here, and Utah State is up there. But heading back down to Alpine, here we go, here we go. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is the proximity of Alpine, Utah to Lehi, Utah. And Lehi, Utah is the home of what they call the Silicon Slopes. And it's just a big tech industry. You've got what's called Traverse Mountain that's up here. There are, the Traverse outlets. You've got, great schools. There are some private schools up here as well called Challenger. But just a lot of new tech jobs and things that have come up. So all of this over here is Lehi, Utah on both sides of the 92, which comes through. So basically you go to the 15, you go to the 92, and a lot of people are moving here for these jobs that are in the Silicon Slopes area. And then Alpine is, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes, depending on where you are in Alpine, but it's really not that much farther. And then last but not least, the weather in Alpine, depending on where you are, really actually determines what the weather is going to be like in Alpine, especially in the winter time. In the summertime, spring, fall, it's all pretty much the same. But in the winter time, the higher up you are, which makes sense, this area up here next to Lambert Park, there's a lot of beautiful homes up here, but this area up here, during the winter time, you are going to see several more feet of snow up here, even in the Three Falls area over here, than you are if you come down here to, if you're around Timberline Elementary or Burgess Park or any of these areas down here, you're going to see significantly less snow than you will if you are up higher in the hills, which again, the elevation makes sense. So Again, if you are looking to make a move to Alpine, Utah, please feel free to reach out and give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. We hear from people like you all the time who are, wanting to relocate here, wanting to move, but don't necessarily know the neighborhoods or don't necessarily know like, oh, how close is this or does it get this much snow? I literally have I've ridden my bike. I have run through every neighborhood in Alpine, Utah. So again, feel free to reach out, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call. And if you're thinking about making a move to the Beehive State, I'd love to help you out. Take care. So this gives you a snapshot of what Alpine, Utah is like, some of the different parks, things that are close by, restaurants, all those different things. So if you are thinking about making a move to Alpine, Utah, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email so that we can pinpoint the exact area that you want to be in. You don't want to move out here and all of a sudden you're like, great, I'm in Alpine, but you might be in an area that is higher up or more secluded or gets more snow, or you may want all those things. So if we want to put you in the right area for you and your family. So again, if you're thinking about making a move or relocating, feel free to shoot me a text, send me an email, or give me a call, and I'd love to connect with you. Take care.